So I've been using Apple's AirPods Pro for just over half a year now, and I'd say they're one of the best all-around headphones I've ever used. However, not everything about them is as pro as you might think. So today I'm going to break down what Apple did right with the AirPods Pro and what they could have done better. Welcome to Top Spec, your one-stop shop for tech content. And if you're new around here, we upload reviews, tutorials, and comparisons all related to tech every Monday, so if that sounds like your thing, feel free to subscribe. So when I first heard that these tiny little headphones would have outstanding ANC, I was a little bit suspicious, but then I picked up my own and it has just blown me away from the first time I opened the box and even now, 6 months later. Albeit, I've never actually used another device that has active noise cancellation, but these things are pretty dang good. You can easily just pop these headphones into your ears and feel like you're just in your own little bubble. It just easily eliminates any kind of low frequency background noise, like maybe a dull roar of voices in a classroom or the low hum of a furnace or an air conditioner. Same thing with the transparency mode. You can easily just put the headphones in your ears and they sort of just become part of you. Everything that's around you is just as clear as if you had nothing in your ears, and it's just a really surreal experience. One downside to this though is since the ANC and the transparency mode uses a microphone on the outside of the chassis of the headphone, if you're wearing any kind of hood or hat that just rubs up against them, it's kind of an unpleasant experience. Also, since the AirPods Pro have this silicone ear tip, it's very much more comfortable than the regular Apple earbuds or the AirPods. I've never actually owned the AirPods or AirPods 2, but I have owned the Apple earbuds before, which do eventually get kind of painful when they're in your ears for a long period of time. These do eventually, but it's a lot better than the regular AirPod design. The ear tips also benefit the sound quality of the AirPods, so since you're creating this tight seal in your ear, there's no sound leakage whatsoever, so the sound is a lot more full, and there's actually a lot more bass than I had expected. On the topic of the ear tips, the AirPods Pro also come with 2 additional sizes that you can switch out depending on your ear size. You can then run a test on your iOS device that determines if you have an adequate seal with that specific size. I found that all 3 sizes worked for me with that seal test, but the smallest size actually was the most comfortable for me. So now that I've gone through what I like about the AirPods Pro, I'm now going to get into what bugs me about them. So these headphones have a $250 price tag, and with that price tag you'd expect them to have outstanding audio quality, which I'd say they do for wireless headphones, and also you'd expect them to have just a seamless integration with any device you're using, especially with the Apple H1 chip. And the second thing is what I found to be the most common issue. Oftentimes I'm switching between my iPhone 7 and my Windows laptop, and since I'm switching back and forth all the time, the H1 chip sort of loses its purpose. One of the chip's main purposes is to just make the first time setup super seamless, and every time you open the case, your AirPods will connect to whatever your device you're using. And this might just be because I have a Windows laptop, but every time I connect it to my laptop, I obviously have to go in and connect it into the Bluetooth settings, but every time I'd finish using them on my laptop, I'd have to do the same exact thing on my phone, which is an iPhone by the way. Usually once that's done though, everything works fine. Hey everyone, this is Editing Connor here. So in this part of the video, I mentioned how the connection between my AirPods and my laptop isn't very seamless, and how I have to go into the Bluetooth settings to connect my AirPods. And the way I worded it made it sound like the H1 chip should be integrating my Windows computer and my AirPods, which simply just isn't the case. That's not what the H1 chip does. But what I was trying to say was that after I use my Windows laptop, I still have to go into the Bluetooth settings on my phone and connect them, which really shouldn't be the case with the H1 chip since my phone is an iPhone. So just thought I'd clear that up really quick. I have noticed before though, where when I'm using my laptop, I'll put both of them in and only one will connect, or maybe one will be on transparency mode and one will be on noise cancelling mode, or maybe one is just completely off. Usually putting both headphones back in the case and then taking them out and putting them back in your ears fixes that problem, but for $250, the technology should just work. Even my old $60 Jaybird X3s did this much better than the Apple AirPods Pro. I could easily connect them to my laptop and my phone at the same time and play a YouTube video on my laptop, pause it, and then play music on my phone without touching any buttons, and it would just work. So even after all of my mixed feelings about the Apple AirPods Pro, I still keep coming back to them, and that's just because the positives really outweigh the negatives for me. And honestly, if you're in the Apple ecosystem and you want some good audio quality, and you want some good active noise cancellation, I highly recommend the AirPods Pro. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Like I had said in the beginning, every single Monday we're uploading reviews, comparisons, and tutorials, so if that sounds like your cup of tea, feel free to subscribe and check out our ever-growing catalog of videos. Anyways, that's about it. I'm Connor, and this is Top Spec. Thanks for watching.